Might give you cancer, don't know. You can do whatever you want. My neighbors are gonna be pumped they get to hear this bike again. See if it's gonna work or if it's gonna catch on fire. I can see myself in the paint, that's pretty cool. I picked up this new vehicle. The only thing that has been missing that I really want to put in there is Android Auto. And I picked this thing up off Amazon. It was like $100. I just need to take apart the center console, remove the screen for the stereo, and just hook this thing up. Anyway, I'll unbox this thing, show you what it is, and then we'll get at it. All right, so in the box, we've got the module. This just goes in the center console, and it replaces the factory USB plug-in. Just kind of opening this like an idiot. Yeah, there's all the plug-ins on the back. There's USB plug-ins. That's where your USB or SD card would go with your factory maps and stuff, but I'm not going to bother with that because I'm going to have my phone plugged in for Google Maps anyway. There's some cables to plug it into the screen, run it through the vehicle. This looks like some instructions. I'm sure I'll end up looking at those shortly. Book with some zip ties. Never a bad time for zip ties. Oh yeah, and some of the videos that I watched, people were saying that they were using these like foam adhesive parts to go around these cords. That way, when they're hidden underneath the panels, they don't vibrate and make noise. I got my trim tools here. This is just for like prying off the dash and the center console and all that nonsense. Well, I guess it's not nonsense, but it's all just like plastic clips and stuff. So I'm hoping that I don't break anything while I'm taking this thing apart, but we'll see what happens. I believe one of the first things that needs to come off is this piece of trim, and then this up here as well. That way I can get this screen out and then get at the plugs there. And the cup holders here, this like infotainment control area as well, and the actual module itself was in here, but yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I know that I need to unplug my stop start button there and see if I can break anything here. This is fun. I just bought this vehicle last week and I'm already taking it apart. So there's my stop start button there. That's out. Now I think this upper piece here, or maybe these vents need to come out, or I think maybe the vents are part of this upper piece. I probably should have looked at a manual or something before I started doing this. I watched a couple videos on YouTube before I got going. Oh yeah, there we go. I thought I had an idea what I was doing. Seems like it. Caught on something here. I'm sure you can see what I'm caught on, but I can't. We got a plug here. That's out. Put that on the back seat. Okay, and then to get this screen out, it looks like there's 2 bolts there. And now I'm gonna have to start taking this apart down here. You can do this with a screwdriver, but you're gonna end up putting marks and stuff. Be a good opportunity to actually like clean good inside of all this stuff. I might do that, I might not. This needs to come up. Just need to find a good spot to, there we go. I thought this was 2 pieces. Surprisingly not overly gross in there. Okay, see if maybe I might be able to run the cables in behind here without actually like taking this apart, because I don't want to do that. Now this needs to come off. That sounded worse than what it was. Factory USB thing is loose here. I just need to get the cords undone from it so I can get it pulled out. Maybe I'll bring you in here with me. Oh, sunglasses. How does this little clip work? There's the cigarette lighter undone. Look at 2-piece clip on that. Okay. So here's that factory USB thing right here. You just push the tabs and it should just slide right out. Here's the factory USB unit, and there's those clips on the back. You just need to push them down, I believe, and then the thing should just slide out the face of this. Now, I've seen on some YouTube videos and on Reddit, some people, they're just drilling holes in the face of it to break the clips, but it just kind of seems unnecessary, because in order to do a half decent install, you got to take apart the dash anyway. So while you're in there, you may as well get it done the right way. This might be a little bit on the tedious side, but it's worth it. I want to make sure that I put the other one in the right way around. That way I'm not fighting against wires going the wrong way. This is the top. This will be going in right there. That out, and this in. Just like that. Now I get to go play with some wires. So I'm just having a quick look at the diagram here, and it shows the black and the brown end of the connectors, or end of the wiring, going right here. Faking it till I make it here. I think before I start plugging stuff in, I've got to pull that screen out. That way I can unplug the factory wiring from it so it can run the Android Auto. I'll do that before I've got too much stuff going on. I've got a pretty sneaking suspicion that it's just 10mm bolts for that, where this is a Japanese vehicle. Everything's like 10, 12, or 14 mil. Yeah, it looks like it's all 10 mil. I probably could do this with an impact, but I don't want to strip anything out or break anything. So looks like I've got 2 Phillips screws there that need to come out. Yeah, that's definitely in there tight. I've got my doubts if this was ever apart before. 1 and 2. It's probably just like a support bezel or something for the stereo. That's starting to come out. Make sure I'm doing this right. I don't want to break anything. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, there's the stereo. All right. I'm quickly gonna make sure what I'm taking apart is all that I need to do instead of pulling apart everything, because I don't want to do too much and break something. I'm just gonna start unplugging connectors here. I have these nice tools here. I guess I could be pushing on connectors with that. So there's the head unit. Let's go put this up on the bench so I don't break it. I've got my cable all foam wrapped. That way it doesn't rattle around and stuff while I'm driving. And I've got a little bit more disassembly left that I got to do in here. I just need to remove the glove box, and there's like a little kick panel there in the passenger footwell. To get this glove box out, I'm pretty sure all I got to do is drop it and then push on both sides there, and that should come out. No, what am I doing wrong? Oh, there we go. There it is. Glove box is out. This kick panel right here needs to come off, so it should just pull. Here's one. Okay, it just slides in the back. That's out. Okay, and what this lets me do is actually run my cables up and have the most access to do it. That way I'm not wrapping around ridiculous stuff or pinching the cords off anything. This is a little bit of disassembly, but it should pay off in the end. This end needs to stay at the center console to plug into the back of this. What I'm going to do now is I'll take this and feed it in through the center console all the way forward. I'm making sure that I take as much of the slack as I can on this end to play around with, because I don't really need a whole lot left on the center console side. So there's my wiring right there. I've got that fed underneath where the cup holders go, and I'm going to feed it underneath the shifter and under this kick panel, up and around. I'll show you guys what that looks like once I've got that done. I've got my wires ran in the car there. I'm going to do now that the stereo's out is, I'm not really too sure how well you can pick that up on there, but whatever they used to clean this before, it's pretty gross. So I'm just going to give that a blast with a little bit of gloss cleaner here and put it back in. Whatever they used on there, it left a heck of a residue. It's almost like a waxy residue what's on there. This is cleaning up way nicer than what it was. Might see a couple streaks on there, but yeah, it's looking a little bit better to me. I'm gonna get this back in the car and start hooking up cables. These are probably one of the best tools that I've ever bought. They're just like a little set of flush cutters. I'm finding those 2 factory cords that I had a second ago. I'm gonna a little bit of foam tape to them and tie them back on the harness to themselves so they don't vibrate. There's only one way that these plugs go into, so you don't need to worry about connecting the wrong one in the wrong spot. Blue, green, that big one. This one goes here. One should be the last piece of the puzzle. And you go in right there. That's your home. Before I start screwing everything back together, what I'm going to do is function test the new piece. Yeah, basically everything that's unplugged is going to have to get plugged back in before I try to function test anything. Here's my unit. These two are going to get plugged in. Again, they only go one way, so you don't need to worry about putting the wrong one in the wrong place, unless you're me. No connector goes into the center right there. That's just not used. And I'll take these two factory ones and I'll tie those to this wiring harness, the larger white one there that I'm sure you can't see, but I think I'm at the point now where I can function test this. So I'm just going to grab everything, plug it in, make sure it works. Then I'll start buttoning everything up. Here's my moment of truth. See if it's going to work or if it's going to catch on fire. It's mad that the doors are open. Thing's booting up. Man, that beeping's annoying. Oh, there it is. Or not. What's going on? Oh my god, I was scared there for a second that it wasn't going to work, but it works now. That's nice. Now I've got Google Maps and I can listen to music from what's on my cell phone on here. I'm going to have to blank this out because I don't have rights to the music. And that beeping is annoying. I'll continue saying what I'm going to say once I've got all this put back together because that's just incredibly annoying. I need to go for a test drive now, so I'm going to do what every suburban SUV driver does and go to Starbucks. And I get one of those vanilla ridiculous things or a frappa whatever. I have no idea what they're called, but man, are some of them ever tasty. Turn that music down because I don't have the rights to use it because I'm not a professional. So far, no weird noises. That's nice. Today, I was actually supposed to go to the next town over with a friend of mine, and we were going to go drag racing. Long story short, it was supposed to be really crappy weather, and it's beautiful out today. That's just the way it goes sometimes. On the other hand, too, I've got enough stuff that I need to get done around the house. Oh, better lock my steering wheel back in place. Anyway, another thing that I'd like to do today, too, is wash the Street Glide. That'll probably be in this video, too, because why not? It is covered in bugs.
Hello, what can I do for you today?
Hi, can I get a venti mocha cookie crumble, please?
Venti mocha cookie crumble, you said?
Yep.
For sure.
And that's everything.
That's everything, alright? Just one frappuccino, I don't mean that.
Thank you. That was painless. Oh my god, for a second I thought I forgot my wallet. That would have been bad. We're back. I didn't want to take any video of the person working in the drive-thru. I'm not really a big fan of videoing people without their knowledge or whatever. I just don't really think that it's my place to do that, especially when somebody's just trying to do their job, just go about their day without being in some idiot's vlog or YouTube video or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that sure tastes like an $8 drink. Dang, these things are good. There's the Android Auto screen. I know well, I'm not really sure if it looks stripy to you guys or not, but that's just the refresh rate of the screen. Man, is it ever beautiful out today. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed so far. I wish I could be listening to music right now, but as long as I got the camera on, I can't. Zoom, zoom. Man, this road is soft. Holy cow. But yeah, time to get back to the house and get at some other stuff. Now I'm gonna get this Street Glide outside. I think I'm pointing at it. I'm gonna get the Street Glide outside and wash all these mosquitoes and dead bugs and stuff all off the fairing. I don't know how well that's showing. Well, I can see that on the screen. It's pretty gross. I've been riding it quite a bit lately, and I'd like for it to be clean. My neighbors are gonna be pumped they get to hear this bike again. Some kid down the street was just revving the guts out of his dirt bike. So I got to join in on the fun. Everybody likes the sound of this thing, especially me. Yeah, a little Phil Collins on the radio. This thing outside, clean it. shut her off. I do believe that this is going to be a time-lapse affair. Bike's clean, but now I gotta get all the water spots off it, so start her up, bring her in the garage, get it out of the sun, and then I can wipe it down. And it'll look really nice until I ride it for the first time, and it'll look like garbage after that again, which is pretty sweet. Got the bike back in the garage here. Now I'm going to get rid of all the water spots. I got my microfiber cloths, and I'll go grab my detail spray. Yeah, this is what I use. It smells pretty good. Just get it at Canadian Tire. Works well. So there's a few ways you can do this. You can just hose it all on there, or you can just spray it on the cloth, wipe it on, and then buff it off, which I'm going to do because it uses a lot less spray. So just soak this up nice. Wipe this on. Oh my god, this stuff smells like bubble gum. It's incredible. I try to do this like one panel at a time and use 2 different cloths, a wet one and a dry one. It just comes out just looking like glass. Makes the paint look incredible. But yeah, you want to do this outside of the sun, because if you do it out in the sun, then you're going to get all your spots drying, and that's the whole reason why I brought this in the garage. To get rid of all the water spots. That's how you get them. Leaving water on there and it just drying. It is what it is. There's a little stubborn spot there. It needs a little bit of extra attention. There we go. I think I'm gonna have to put this down for a little bit. My wife wants to go pick up some seed potatoes for the garden. Anyway, I'll finish this bag so at least one side of the bike is clean. And then when I get back, I'll do the other side. This is actually the first time that I'm using this detail spray on this bike. And it's nice because when it goes on, it coats it really well, and then when you wipe it off, it feels like glass. Makes it look nice and shiny and gets rid of all the water spots. My dad would be pretty happy with that. This bike does clean up really well. Still miss my Ultra Classic though. The M8 in this bike, it's certainly smoother, which is good, but I also miss the raw feeling of the twin cam. I think the twin cam is probably one of Harley's best engines ever, aside from like the Evo. I think their Evo is probably their best engine. I'm gonna hit pause here and go pick up some seeds or whatever. This is probably gonna be about an hour out of my time and about 3 seconds out of yours. The side quest is over. Back to this thing. I'm gonna finish wiping it down, and yeah, I'll be ready for the next ride. Gotta do a sound clip. This thing sounds sick. This is now a certified clean machine. You could pretty much eat off any surface on this motorcycle, besides like maybe the brakes. I wouldn't do that. Might give you cancer, don't know. You can do whatever you want. Anyway, all the water spots are off it. All like the hard, dead bug guts all over the fairing, those are all gone. And she's ready to ride again. Unfortunately, when I ride it again, it's going to get covered in bug guts and the cycle continues. I feel pretty accomplished with how productive I was today. Like I was showing you guys earlier, I had to put the Android Auto in the Mazda, and my wife and I, we took that to pick up some groceries, go pick up some flowers and some seed potatoes, or potato seeds, however you want to say it. And then I was like halfway through this before we went out and got this done. And we got some gardening left to do for today, but that's not really what this channel's for. I guess I could go over that Android Auto thing. So this is the box that the Android Auto thing came in for the Mazda. And like I said earlier, it was $100 and it works awesome. You just plug my phone in and I've got my Google Maps, my voice commands for my phone, all of my music. Can't really ask for anything better than that. It was the only thing that the vehicle was missing that I saw as a must. I think the only other things that I'm going to want to do in the relatively near future is put a remote starter in it. I saw a couple of those on Reddit. They're like $300 and it's just plug and play, and it uses the factory fob, which I really like that integration, so you're not carrying around a second fob. I just see that as stupid, carrying around multiple fobs. Yeah, a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to go to the drag races today, but the silver lining is I've got so much done around here today that at least I got some sort of benefit out of not going racing today, although racing would have been pretty awesome. See you guys next week. Take care.